Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Solfax, and from this day on I will be casting for Team EchO. I will be casting their replays and sometimes their live matches. Now, okay, now that I've introduced myself, now that you know who I am, let's start introducing this player. This is a TVT on Ohana. Let's start introducing the players. In the baby blue here, playing the Terran race, it is Frozz, and playing on the other side of the map, a Team EchO player here, playing in the ever so stylish yellow color, it is Pikachu! Yeah, that's so not funny. And okay, so this game hasn't started yet properly. I'm gonna tell you something about myself. I'm a 18-year-old, almost 19 years old, yay! I live in Croatia, that is a small country across Italy in Europe. So yeah, I just started recently playing a few months ago StarCraft and casting at the same time. So yeah, now a difference we see between both of these players at the beginning of the game is Frozz went for a wall off, or an attempted wall off at this point in time, while his opponent didn't went for a wall off, and that tells me that he's totally unimpressed by his opponent at this point in time. So yeah, nothing happening. I hate these TVTs. I mean, this is my favorite matchup, but I hate them when they really take a long time to get going. It really takes a long time for both players in a TVT to get going, but we already see some kind of strange thing going on here, because Pikachu is going for a gas before going for a barracks, so he wants to do a very gas intensive play, and he's actually hiding his barracks all the way up here. I don't know if I could call that barracks, that hiding a barracks. It's just like placing it a little bit further from his opponent's scout, and he's at the same time going for a scout, while his opponent has actually finished this wall off here with the almost built supply depot, and he's just checking around his main base. Probably both of these players, I mean, Frozz, it looks like he's going to giving up for a 1 Rax expand, while Pikachu is doing some strange stuff. He's almost already at 100 gas, so he might be going for Banshees here with that very early gas, or maybe even Reapers. We will see. And another piece of information. This game was played at a tournament Go4 made by the Electronic StarCraft League, if I believe correct. I might not be correct. What is he doing? He's placing a factory right after the barracks here, so probably going for how to call him, Banshees here. He's gonna get scouted by Frozz, excuse me, but that's not gonna be a big problem for him, because he is going for 1 Rax expand from the looks of it. He kind of messed up a little bit, didn't lower down this supply depot, so his Rax is gonna be right on time here, 3, and there's the command center going down at the low ground, while our Pikachu here is not going for anything here. He's just giving his slow ass up to the Banshees. I don't like Banshees play on the TVT, especially on Ohana, because, well, I just don't like it. Ohana is such a small map, you can very easily get rushed. This can very easily be countered by a player who decides to be aggressive at the beginning of the game, but, well, it doesn't really matter, because Pikachu has decided to do what he wants to do, and he's already putting down the starport on the tech lab here that he built on the barracks, I believe. So yeah, he wants to build those Banshees, one and only one alien coming at a time, because he doesn't have the reactor on the Banshees, while our fourth player is going for a very standard 1 Rax expand, adding on 2 Rax, and then immediately going into 2 gases here. So yeah, he's playing a very normal play here. He didn't decide to go for a bunker up here, because he knows that he's playing against a Banshee player, or he's just assuming, so he knows that he doesn't need a bunker to actually defend against a Banshee. So yeah, I'm wondering when Pikachu will decide to expand here. He might just go for an expansion right after his first Banshee is out. He might not decide to. He is only working on 1 gas, so there is no possibility of him going for a cloak here, even though he has a lot of gas here. The first Banshee is gonna go on the field here, so cloak is not gonna be researched here, because he needs 200 gas for cloak, and he didn't take the second gas. So only a little cloak, a little Banshee harassment here to start the game off. And now comes the bunker down for Frozz here. He's not building anything further here. He's probably gonna go for a factory right down here. No, that's supply depot, excuse me. I just saw 100 gas, so I thought he's going for a factory, but he's not. So he's just waiting here for his opponents to attack, because he knows that he's in a better position. He hasn't expanded earlier, and we'll see what he decides to do. And now Pikachu is going for that expansion at the lower ground here, so a good few minutes after his opponent has done, but except command center first, 1 Rax expand is the best and the fastest way to get your natural expansion down early in the game. So this Banshee is gonna hit now, and Frozz knows that it's gonna hit now because at 7 minutes is the normal time for Banshee play. A clean, very clean Banshee play to hit. If you're going from 1 gas, 7:20 I believe is the time for a 2 gas Banshee play to hit after the cloak is finished here. So Frozz has successfully split up his units, but I think that Pikachu will be able to do some damage here. At least a few SCVs gonna get killed here with that little attack, but I don't know how that will be effective because he doesn't have a cloak on these units, and those Marines are very close here. Those Marines can take this Banshee out very easily and very quickly here. He's trying to micro out of this. He only killed, I believe, two SCVs here, but oh, he's going for the natural blaze. If he manages to kill this SCV building the turret, but doesn't matter, the Marines are already here. He might lose this, and yes, he loses the Banshee here. A bad start for Pikachu here, but again, he is up in the tech tree. He's building his 2 additional barracks here, so he's going for a bio play. But he is a little bit behind on the expansion timing, as well as how do you call it? Excuse me, control A or army supply. He is behind by whole 10 army supply here. Doesn't matter too much because I think that Frozz is gonna go for a big macro play. He's probably gonna throw down his third command center in his base right about now. It's a good time to be throwing it down just as he collects a few minerals here, but he's going for the factory here. So as you can see, Pikachu is up in tech, but is back in economy here, and as well as in production. He only has 3 barracks on the way. He's got 2 reactors on those barracks and 1 tech lab. Not researching STIM just yet. For whatever reason, he already researched Combat Shield, which is kinda unusual here, going for Combat Shield before STIM, but well, it's totally his decision, and now he's finally going to get this natural base saturated here. He's got a lot of SCVs in the main because he had the time to make a lot of SCVs, and what I would like to see from Pikachu is actually that he built this command center in his base and used it as a proxy, I mean a macro command center, and only then went for moving it to the lower ground. And the thing that Frozz is doing is being very, very defensive. He's not even checking the Zalaga towers here. There's 1 Hellion here at the Zalaga tower that is just holding it, and now he's got a big force of Marines here. Actually, he might just wait for 1-1 before he's attacking, because +1 actually, +1 weapons is close to finish, as well as STIM is close to finish, and so he might go for a timing attack here at the 10-minute mark or something along those lines. But from the looks of it, he's actually just weary of more Banshees, but Pikachu is not doing that because that 1 Banshee was lost very quickly here. He's trying to transition into, I believe, Biomarine here with a Bio Tank here with Medivacs as support here. So we will see what he decides to do. Combat Shield is being researched by Frozz, so at this point in time he has the advantage in his units as well as the upgrades on these units. He has STIM before his opponent has, but he doesn't have the Combat Shield, so we'll see what he decides to do. He's just playing in his base at this point in time with those Marines. He's gonna be supply blocked in a minute, but I think that he has a few supply depots in the making. So this is a very standard game, except that Banshee play here. Pikachu is gonna check the turret base. He doesn't know turret base. He knows that his time, if he wants to get ahead of this game, he needs to either attack or expand before his opponent has. He's working on that siege tech. I do not believe that Frozz has researched siege. There's even not a tech lab on this barracks here, which is kind of strange. He's building his 3rd command center at his natural base position here. So yeah, he's going for a very strange play here. He's only now getting the 2 gases, only 1 gas natural expansion, excuse me, while his opponent didn't go. Oh, he already went for 2 gas, and now he's going for his own expansion here. So even though Pikachu went for a weird play at the Banshee play with no cloak at the beginning of the game, he's back in the game. He does have less units than his opponent actually has. Let us see how many units he has. He has just a few less units, but he has 1 tank and siege mode and a few Hellions, Medivacs here, excuse me. So yeah, it's not gonna be a big problem for him. There's a Marine here checking the 4th base expansion if he decides to lift it down here. So I think that Frozz is giving up for attack because his armor is, his +1 armor is gonna be finishing up in a minute or so. So he might just march across the map here. Oh, he's actually attacking at the base here, but there's a siege tank for Pikachu here. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Those Marines are falling rapidly, but that siege tank will be decisive here because that siege tank will be able to do a lot of damage, as well as the reinforcements coming from Frozz to the Pikachu. And this 1 Medivac will go down here, but the other one will be able to escape here. A good attack from Frozz, but he didn't count on those siege tanks being out yet. A big mistake from him not bringing his own siege tanks. He's only now getting the siege mode up. He's only now producing his 1st siege tank here, and he's now back behind in this game. He has the 3rd expansion down now, but he doesn't have the SCVs to support it just yet. While his opponent's 3rd base will be finished in just a few seconds here. He might just want to destroy the rocks here. Yes, he's going to destroy the rock here. So Pikachu is not back. As you can see, Pikachu is actually ahead in supply, and saying Pikachu is very weird. Yeah, seeing Pikachu in a StarCraft 2 match is very, very weird. So Pikachu is building his second engineering bay here to go for the double upgrade as soon as the armor finishes. At this point in time, Frozz has the better upgrades. I mean, he has 1-1, I believe, research, while Pikachu only has 0-1, 1-0 being the attack plus for his units here. But Pikachu has the tech advantage. I mean, Frozz has only gotten 2 medevacs on the field, while Pikachu has 3 medevacs. So they both have 3 medevacs, excuse me. Pikachu has siege tanks with siege mode. Both his players have siege tanks with siege mode, but Pikachu has more siege tanks. Don't stop interrupting me. My brain is not working as it should today. So, yeah. And Pikachu is going immediately into +2 for his weapons here. So Frozz is gonna attack here, but I think that Pikachu can set up a pretty good flank here. He said only 1 Marine out to check here. Siege mode, siege mode, siege mode. Oh, this is gonna be deadly if Frozz decides to jump into this, but no. Pikachu stims in, try to take out a few tanks. He will be probably able to take out a few tanks. Now he decides to fall back, maybe lure his opponents into the siege tank range, but no, Frozz is smart in that. He decides to pull back here. And now this game will now become extremely boring. Both of these players are going for the third base expansions, and they will just try to macro up to 200 supply, both of them, and then go and attack. And this is going to be a very extremely boring game for these players. For me, actually, to cast this at this point time. What I want to see from Pikachu doing is actually adding more barracks. He's only have 4 barracks in his base at this point in time, which is very low for when you're going for a third base. Both of these players have actually a small number of barracks. When you're going for a third base as a Terran player on any map, you want to be adding more barracks, more factories, or whatever you're going for, whatever composition army you're going for. You want to be adding more of those production facilities, and then so you can support your tree-based economy with those production facilities. But at this point in time, both of these players are working on a very low mineral count here, so you can see that both of these players are at GM level. I believe that Pikachu is a GM level. For Frozz, I don't have any information about that here. So yeah, drop coming in at tank. Oh, he decides to pull it back in. Little misclick from Pikachu here, I believe. He didn't want to go for that tank. Will he drop that tank? Yeah, he will drop the tank, and he will pick up some more Marines. So dropping play coming him from Pikachu, but Frozz is deciding to advance here at the 4th base position. I don't think that Pikachu actually sees this. No, he sees it, so the 4th base will be exposed here. There's 2 Marines to check it out. Great positioning of Marines actually for Pikachu to see where his opponent is at. He's got great map control and great map vision with all of those Marines just scattered around. There's 1 Marine at the 5th base or the 4th base location, whatever you want to call it, and a clash in the middle here. The tanks trying to siege here, and I think that Pikachu's got this because he's at 4 siege tanks sieging up here, doing so much damage to those Marines. Even though both of these players will lose a lot of units, I think that Frozz will lose more. Pikachu will lose all of his tanks here, I believe. He's lost all of his Marines. Only 1 tank is remaining, but again, if Frozz loses all of his units plus all of his tanks, because Pikachu has the superior number of medevacs at this point in time, and this is just a good confrontation for Pikachu, bad confrontation for Frozz. He went in, he went in the attack here. He didn't try to work on that, and oh, the attack from Pikachu, I kind of missed it here, but he obviously did drop here for a second. He's killing a lot of SCVs here. He probably killed a lot more, killed 21 workers doing this entire game, and Pikachu is just trading so cost efficiently with his units here. He would prefer, he's actually probably going to go for another drop here because he saw that that 3rd base is really undefended. Only 2 those missile turrets you can just cut through here and then drop at 3rd base and then get the hell out of here before something bad happens. And I think he will be advancing to the field actually because he has the production. He's 3-3, 3-2 actually is on the way, excuse me, as well as his opponent. He's got a lot of barracks in his main base. None of them have add-ons here, but he doesn't actually need that. He didn't even waypoint them for whatever reason. He's probably going to start waypointing them in just a second here. But again, another confrontation in the middle here. I don't think that it's a good idea to Frozz attack because those siege tanks are up here. He decides to go for the 4th base expansion here. But again, Pikachu has 1 Marine out to here to see what his opponent is doing, if he's sieging or if he's not. Marine, the hero Marine that gave so much information to Pikachu is going to die here. But Frozz is in a bad position because he can't attack his opponent, know where he is. He knows what he's like. He can arrange his tanks accordingly. And if Frozz attacks, we're just going to run into siege tanks, which is never a good idea for any player to actually do, except if you're going for Ultralisks, then you can just run into anything you actually want. And now Frozz is dropping or just charging Marines at his 4th, 5th base location of Frozz here. He's taking down 1 supply depot. Will they be able to take it? Yes, there's a supply depot, and he's supply blocked. Yay, Pikachu is supply blocked. I mean, Frozz is supply blocked. Pikachu is stacking here. No, that's a bad idea. I need to siege his tanks. He's got the lower number of Marines here, lower number of medevacs, but the siege tanks are doing so much damage. Those Marines, Frozz decides to fall back at the 4th base position where his tanks are sieged up here. So this is a big stalemate. That's why I love TVT, because both of these players are playing like a chess game. moving up their tanks very slowly. Only one tank at a time will probably be moving up here to try and get into your opponent's, try to get your tanks in your opponent's siege range and just completely denying them attack here. What am I saying? And now both of these players are going for a fourth base here at this fourth base position, and a big attack in the middle here. Sad things, tanks have been sieging up here, but again, both of these players have tanks sieged up, but Pikachu sieged up just a few seconds before, and he's doing so much damage. Those tanks as well as those marines will fall down here from that tank fire, and all of those medevacs are totally exposed to the marine fire here. A few of them will go down, but I think he wants to focus on the tanks before anything else here. The tank will go down. He's trying to chase out a few medevacs here. He manages to do it. But look at the tank count from Pikachu. He's got such a big tank house. He's going to do this fourth base. There's absolutely nothing to defend against a few SCVs, and he manages to get the cancellation or just the distraction of this fourth base here. He might actually be able to get it. Will Frozz get the cancel? He gets the cancel. It gets these 300 minerals back. This is very crucial because both of these players are playing on a very low mineral count here. They're stretching their minerals count very well. But now Frozz is charging into his opponent and he sieges up. Will he be able to do damage? Will he be able to lure him in the siege tower? And he lures him in the siege tower. He's going for the third base here. No, he decides to attack here. He needs to go for the third base because there's nothing to defend against it. And Frozz really needs to go for a counter attack at this point in time because Pikachu is doing so much damage to this third base here, but he's trying to reinforce this from some time here. But all of those siege tanks doing so many damage to those marines and those tanks. All of the tanks will go down. But now Frozz is reinforcing, but still he's running into siege fire, which is never a good idea because the opponent has more medevacs than you have. And GG from Pikachu. Excuse me, GG for Pikachu from Frozz. Yay! Okay, so yeah, we saw a great game. That's what I love, TVT. Who has the bigger count of tanks actually wins the game. It's just that simple. It doesn't matter who actually gets a better start. It actually matters who has a bigger account of tanks here. Even though he was working on 2 factories, I thought he was working on only 1 factory, but that was not anywhere near the truth because he couldn't have so many tanks if he was working on only 1 factory. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this cast. It has been Solfax from Team EchO, and until next time guys, keep it steady and carry on.